Hello and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. So there's been quite a bit of chatter about this one website owner who said that their website was manually penalized because of a guest post that was posted a few years ago and was only part of maybe like 5 guest posts that they did. They didn't pay for it. It was an earned guest post. But now that guest post has turned into a manual penalty many years later. So the question is, can that happen? Why does this happen in the first place? Well, it's important to understand the context of the story before you read all the comments. And I'm sure people that are watching this video have read all the comments. They also read, some people saying that Google is going after people who are buying guest posts, but that is old news. But maybe Google is going after websites that have guest posts or those have acquired guest post links. None of that is true. Google has always said that they're against people buying guest posts or link insertions or backlinks or whatever. All of that is all considered black hat by Google. The problem is that most SEOs will tell you it's very hard for Google to detect it, which is right in some instances, but Google is updating its algorithm. Is something which I'll go into later in this video that helps it figure out exactly what kind of links appear to be unnatural links and what links appear to be random, naturally acquired links. And so if the pattern matches the algorithm and the algorithm sees that there's a pattern, it instantly flags the website, flags those links, has a manual reviewer take a look at those links. And usually 9 out of 10 times the manual reviewer will put a manual penalty on the website. So getting over a manual penalty is no easy job as you would imagine. There was a time when I used to do quite a few of these, and I had quite a few people who used to reach out to me who had manual penalties on their website, and I was asked to fix them. And I did that for a while, and I saw a pattern, and that helped me understand what Google was doing. So back in the early 2013s, 2014s, a lot of the website owners that were reaching out to me were penalized because they had backlinks from article directories. And they didn't just have like 1 or 2 links. They had like several hundred links from article directories and various article directories. Once Google figured out that article directories are where people are posting their content on for backlinks, and usually these article directories would be free. You just create an account, write an article. It can be gibberish, and you can publish it. It'll get published, it'll get indexed, and there will be a backlink. In most cases, there will be a new following. Back in the day, they will point back to your website, and that help improve the website's rankings. And so at the end of the day, people were doing hundreds and thousands of these for their clients, and they're ranking very well. There were some SEOs that were not even doing on-page SEO at all, and all they were doing is article directories, and there's still some of them that do this, but by and large, it meant that a lot of websites, once Google updated its algorithm, without prior knowledge, without a prior announcement, Google updated its algorithm, and all these websites got nailed. And a lot of these guys then reached out to me, and it was my job to figure out what was going on. And once I figured out what was going on with 2 or 3 websites in the beginning, which took a while because I had several hundred links that were coming into the site. Once I figured out the pattern that Google was going after links that were from article directories, all the other problems that were coming my way, but people getting a manual review or a manual penalty, I figured out it was because of article directories. Once we disavow those links, remove those links, and ask Google to reconsider, the penalty would be lifted. But it still affected the site to some extent. In some cases, the website never really recovered its traffic, and so it's a risk that a lot of people were taking, and they were not entirely sure what it would end up being for them. Then around 2018, 2019, I started seeing a lot of website reporting that they received a manual penalty, and when I started digging into it, I also had a few people reach out to me and had me take a look at their sites. And once I dug into it, I figured that these websites were penalized because of widget links. And for those who don't know, back in the day, there were some SEOs that were recommending that you hire someone, create a cheap widget, pay like 25 bucks for a cheap widget, market that widget, and whoever puts that widget on their website would have a do follow link pointing to your website. And a lot of these widgets were offered free. Some would be website counters, visitor counters. I saw a lot of people offering calculators. So you just put the code on your site and the calculator would work. Some of them weren't useful. The vast majority of them were just spammy or gimmicky. But the idea was to get backlinks by marketing these widgets so that you could get backlinks to your website. And in some instances, it was highly successful. There were some websites that were getting dozens upon dozens of backlinks. Once Google figured out that this is something that SEOs were using to manipulate rankings, they figured out what the pattern was, what kind of links these were, what kind of widgets they were, and these links got devalued. And so a lot of websites saw their rankings just plummet overnight. Again, this was done without prior notice, and so a lot of their rankings disappeared. And then, people came to me. And when I started looking into it, I figured it was because of those widget links. And when those widget links were removed, the manual penalty was appealed, things were fixed. But again, the websites didn't see their traffic go back to where they were. After that, manual penalties have been a little rare because Google has perhaps been working on this behind the scenes. Manual penalties still do happen, I'm pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to see a lot more of them because I'm seeing signs that Google is updating its algorithm once again behind the scenes, and it's going to go after a lot of people who will buy guest posts. And the key term here is buying guest posts, link insertions, PBN links, because there's a pattern. When you buy a guest post from a website, they're not selling that link just to you. They're selling links from their website. They're selling guest posts from their website to other websites. So even if you end up getting it free, perhaps for whatever reason, the fact that that website is doling out links and guest posts means that there's a pattern that Google can match with all the other websites that are also linking to you. And if it happens to be that all of those other websites are part of a network that sells links, or Google assumes that they sell links because there's so many outbound links from those sites, then you will get hammered. Your website will get hammered. The manual review is probably something that is a lot easier to overcome. Manual penalty is perhaps easier to overcome, but then there are the vast majority of instances where there is not a manual penalty, there's an algorithmic penalty, and that means that your website is in some ways a shadow banned. And so regardless of what you do to the website, it never really gets any traction, never really gets any traffic. We just don't see it recover. And when that happens, it's probably time to either get the website audited, figure out maybe there are bad links, maybe Google has shadow banned you, why Google has shadow banned you, and if there's even an opportunity for you to recover from that site, and if not, then probably count your losses and move on. Now, in this specific instance, this person said that they just had 1 or 2 links or maybe 5 links of guest posts, and this was like years back. I can bet my bottom dollar that it was not just 3 or 4 links, not 5 links. There were probably at least a few dozen links, and a lot of those links were coming from websites that usually sell links. So even if they didn't buy the link, and if they got it for free, the websites from where they got those links were websites that usually sell links. Now, the common question I often get asked is, can this be used against competitors? So can you just buy guest posts and point them towards competitors? Well, it's not that easy because, again, Google is looking at patterns, and if you just buy links, I point them to your competitors, it does not necessarily mean that Google thinks that this is something that a competitor purchased, because a competitor may have a different pattern. And so the important thing here is not to buy links if you don't know what you're doing. Don't buy links, don't buy no follow, do follow, whatever. Don't buy any links if you don't know what you're doing. Hire an SEO, someone who knows what they're doing, not just, and 9 out of 10 times you don't even need those backlinks. You just need some good SEO, good on-page, good interlinking, and good social media, and good overall connection between your semantic properties. And then just for the little bit of a boost, just for a little bit, you can do some outreach, and those backlinks that you receive will help improve your rankings. So that's it for me, folks. Let me know in the comments below if you've received a manual ranking and what your experience has been dealing with Google, if there is a manual penalty, and if there is a manual penalty, what have you done to fix it? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.